guys, I'm Michele Champa. I'm here with Yusuke Nagano Sensei.
Hi guys.
We've just finished his world tour. We were the last stop here in Tasmania, and he's went all over the world doing his seminar, teaching some really great things. So first of all, congratulations on your tour. That was great. I'm sure everyone that attended the seminars, no matter what country you're in, you learned something very valuable. Okay, so we'll start with just some questions.
Sure.
So, which was your favourite place on your world tour?
Oh, that's a tough question from the start. In terms of like traveling, or
in terms of the actual karate tour.
Oh, that's a mean question. They were all great. Like every location had different numbers of participants.
Yep.
And I guess the background of the martial art was different depending on the location too. So I can't compare it. They were all enjoyable.
That's a good answer.
Really.
That's good. So, what was your greatest moment on the tour? Something that you'll remember forever? There was something that really clicked.
So, I think it was after the seminar when I got to talk to the students, or like they were taking photos with me.
Right.
I think that was probably the most memorable moment because from my eyes, I just make videos in Japan.
Yeah, right.
And I never get to see the audience. But this was the first time. Well, and I mean, some people do come over to Japan and I meet them there, but I'm still in my country. So it doesn't feel so new. Or you see the numbers, like this many subscribers.
The environment's different, I suppose, than the culture of whatever place you're going to.
Not just that, but like because you see the numbers of views, the numbers of subscribers, but I've never met my subscribers.
Oh, okay.
So this was my first time actually encountering all these people, and
yeah, that's cool.
Seeing the impact my channel had. Because from my eyes, I mean, you see the numbers, but you don't actually feel it. You know?
So, which countries in your YouTube channel have the biggest audience?
US and India.
Oh, really? Yeah, right.
They're the English speaking, and then India has a population, US has a population too. And then it comes like UK, Germany. I haven't checked recently, but I think that's the big audiences.
Awesome. How did you get started in karate?
Right. So my official start was my high school. I joined the karate team of my high school. So yeah, I think I told you before, but I was planning on joining my soccer team in my high school.
Right.
But there was this strong Japanese hierarchy in the team, so I wanted somewhere that was a little more friendly.
Oh, I see.
And the karate team, believe it or not, seems like a strict club, but my school was a lot more friendlier, so I really enjoyed it.
Who has been your main inspiration as far as martial arts goes, or karate?
I guess it depends on my year. So the first 2 years, it was my senpai.
Okay.
A year older. He was really, really strong at both kumite and kata. And he also started from high school too.
Oh, okay.
So if he can get that much better in a year or two, then I was like, maybe I can get that much better.
Yeah, cool.
So I was always looking at his movements, trying to mimic it. I think that was the beginning. And then in the next few years after I graduated high school, I guess I didn't have like a role, or I didn't have a role model to look up to. So I think maybe that was one of the reasons why I felt like my improvement slowed down in the next few years.
Okay.
But then after that, I started. I saw Nagano Sensei is really, really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's great.
And after that, through my YouTube channel too, I've been visiting numerous senseis in Okinawa.
Yes.
And that experience as a whole, I think, helped me get inspired more and widen up my view. So I think it's not just one specific teacher, but the overall experience with the channel.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The name Waku, What is the meaning of waku, and why did you choose this to be your brand, so to speak?
So waku means when excitement or energy like bursts. Right. That's waku. So when the stadium roars, right? That would be the English word.
Yeah.
In Japanese, we express that as stadium, ga waku. Like everybody's cheering and they're having a great time. So because I started the first, project I did with my brand was a karate class to tourists who visit Japan.
Yeah, right.
So it's like they must have planned out for so many hours. They're finally here, so I wanted them to experience something that they cannot experience back at their country. So I really wanted to make their excitement, burst.
Yeah, cool.
That's why I named it. Yeah,
that's a really cool name. So do you still do the tours at all?
Not so much tourists. I guess they are as a result tourists, but like a lot of people who watch my channel and they come over to Japan as a trip. They'll contact me and then I meet them too. So I guess it's somewhat similar to what I was doing.
Awesome. So what are the major differences you notice between training in Japan and training in other countries?
Mm-hmm. I never really trained under anybody outside of Japan. So it's hard to make a comparison.
I see.
But I can talk about how the students are different.
Okay,
yeah. So the Japanese students are very, maybe it's not a good word, but they're obedient.
I see.
So they listen very well. So that's good to accumulate your efforts.
Right.
But making changes and coming up with your own approach, that can be hard for the Japanese. Because they do the work well, but it's hard to change.
Yes, that's more do as I say.
Right. But I guess Western nations in general, compared to Asian nations, I would say, I guess they have a different strength in staying open-minded and making those changes, depending on their goal.
Would you say that foreigners tend to compare other styles a lot more?
I think so. Yeah.
That's what I've found as well.
Mm-hmm. So I think with those two, the will to stick to one thing and put in the work and staying open-minded, if one can have both of them,
the balance would be
then it'll be amazing. Ideal. That's what I try to do as an individual too.
Right. You believe that you should have a strong root, like a core style.
I think so.
You can go explore other. Yeah.
Because if you don't have anything in you, there's nothing to you can't make any comparisons.
Yes.
But
until you understand something.
Right. Like if you eat a strawberry cake just once and eat a pumpkin cake, it's hard to make a comparison. But then if you eat the strawberry cake like 3 times, you know what it tastes like definitely. So you can compare the other cakes for sure.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Would you say there was a huge gap in the quality of karate between country to country?
Not so much.
Okay.
Not so much.
Oh, cool.
Depending on the dojo, yes.
Right.
But that has nothing to do with the country.
Has nothing to do. Yeah.
So,
that's true.
Yeah, I guess if you're under a good instructor, regardless of the country or culture, I think you'll improve.
Yeah, so this is something that gets me, as obviously I've studied Japanese. My Japanese is just average, but when I teach karate in the dojo, I always use Japanese terminology and I try my best to pronounce it correctly, if not as close as to correct as I can. How do you feel about people using Japanese terms and pretty much butchering the words, really making it sound like almost ununderstandable to Japanese people? Like for example, some people, they'll kind of add like a French type of accent to Japanese words, like they'll say karate or something like that. Or like, I've heard even, instead of like agyuke, they'll say agiyuki, or I've even heard age-uki, or something like that.
Right.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like there should be more kind of, how do I word it? I mean, obviously it's not their language, so they're going to have an accent regardless. But do you think there should be more of an effort to try to learn how to pronounce Japanese words, or do you think they should just teach in English if they can't make it understood to Japanese people? It's a tricky question, but it's something I've always wanted to ask a Japanese instructor that has taught in other countries. Like, I'm sure you've heard like people mispronounce a lot of karate terminology, and you probably don't even understand what they're trying to say.
As an individual, like I don't mind people making mistakes because I can't speak other languages besides English. So like it doesn't bother me at all. Like literally at all. It doesn't even move my emotions. But and I don't think.
Well, I guess maybe it's probably for me because I studied Japanese so hard, and that I like to hear things pronounced correctly.
Right.
And so when someone says like yame instead of yame or something totally, like sometimes I can't even understand. Like someone was saying to me, Taitsuki. I think it was Taitsuki. Tate.
Tate.
Yeah, that was
like Andrew Tate.
Yeah. So I've heard like words where they'll read it and like they'll read it as age, so they might pronounce it age or something. Like totally, you can't really understand it.
I feel like because like when let's say I sometimes listen to K-pop.
Okay.
And because I like the genre, I try to say it too.
Yeah, I see.
But I'm trying to say it because I like it.
Yeah, I see.
So I'm sure the karate practitioners that are using the words.
Yeah, for sure.
They like karate.
Yeah.
They like Japanese, so they're using it. So I don't see any point in hating that, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I wouldn't say so much hate,
but like thinking negatively about it.
I see.
Maybe some arrogant, mean Japanese senseis would be like, oh my god, it's tateuke. Like, they might say that, but
so
I don't think you should worry about it.
That's kind of like me, because I'm a chef in the restaurant, right? And I hear people pronouncing things really bad. Like the Italian words.
Right.
Margarita, or they say margarita. Or something like, or we say bruschetta, and they say bruschetta. And I'm always correcting people, so I guess it's kind of, I don't know, I go into language sensei motion.
Right.
Yeah, just a question I've been wanting to ask a actual Japanese person about karate, because I know Japanese people are they don't like to offend people at all, so they'll never say, I've never heard a Japanese person really correct someone, but I've seen some of your videos of teaching people correct pronunciation, and I thought that's really good, because that can actually help. That's where I was going with this. It's good that there's content out there that people can actually. So check that video out, guys.
I think it was like 2 years ago, I made a whole dictionary.
Oh, really?
It has like 100-something words with the meaning and my pronunciation of all the karate terms.
Right.
So if you ever, and on the description, I've written with the timestamp the word.
Okay, right.
So if you ever want to learn Japanese terminologies of karate, like it's better than those dictionaries.
Yeah, cool.
So please check that out.
Awesome. Check that out. So as far as differences from, even though it's all shotokan, our main style is shotokan, within different organisations, the way we do things like a little bit different, like the kihon or the kata may change slightly. How do you feel about seeing the differences and being able to apply that to your own karate?
personally, I don't think people should stress over those little differences.
Of course.
Or focus too much on those little differences.
Right.
Because you're not, well, when you're starting on karate, you might be doing karate to learn new sequences for katas.
Right.
But when you get better, it's not about the sequences, it's about what you do through those sequences.
I see.
So like the stance width, people measure it in different ways. They'll say like,
true, and
like how many centimeters,
different.
how many feet. But at the end, it's about, like we did in the seminar.
Right.
If you can drop the weight and move your torso in a comfortable way, then that's your stance. That's what you should be aiming for, not the little like adjustments.
So, do you feel people are too picky with their kata? They're always wanting to look perfect.
Yes.
Do you think sometimes the guys that kind of, you can see some guys, they do kata and they look strong, although they're not WKF champions or something. They don't have.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, as a competition, you gotta set the rule.
Yeah, that's it.
So you gotta adjust yourself to the rule, and if you want to compete and if you want to win from that metric, you gotta adjust.
Absolutely,
to it.
yeah.
But if your metric is making yourself stronger, then there's no need for you to adjust yourself to that
that's right.
metric, right? So I'm not saying competitions are bad. It's just that it depends on what you want.
Yes, that's it. It's the purpose of the reason you're training. If you want to focus on to look super flashy and good for like kata competition,
then you need to make those
then
adjustments.
you need to, yeah.
And there's a beauty in, I guess, brushing up your movement to match that goal.
Right.
And whoever can do that would win the medal.
Because you do see a lot of, I'm sure you've seen it too, a lot of keyboard warriors on the internet. Like you put up a video of kata or something, and they're like, "Oh no, this foot should be turning in this direction," or that. People that are just sitting from their computer desk and writing, you're doing the kata wrong way. And sometimes not seeing the whole picture.
Right.
Yeah. So my opinion is that you train for what your purpose is. If your purpose is to make everything look strong and have it be strong, then these little differences shouldn't matter. And I'm sure they're all there for a reason within their own organisations.
Oh yeah. I think a lot of styles have different rules, but I feel like a lot of it doesn't have meaning behind it.
Right.
Or maybe it had the meaning, but nobody knows why they're doing it a certain way.
Yeah.
So personally, when I look at different martial arts or different katas, if I can logically understand and feel the difference, I do it, or I become picky on that detail to my students too. But if I don't see any logical, or if I cannot understand it logically, or if I cannot feel it, the difference, then I don't make those changes to my students.
Right.
That might, for a lot of organizations, that might be a lazy habit that you're picking up. But if there's no reason, there's no.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have the effect, there's no reason to do so.
So with that, do you believe that the kata should start at one point and end in the exact same point, or do you think doesn't matter too much, or do you think that's more of a modern adaptation to kata?
It depends on the kata.
Right. Because as you probably know, there's been kata where they deliberately change to end in that spot.
It's been a while since I did any testing, so I forgot. But I think almost all katas from shotokan end up in this.
They usually do,
right?
yeah.
So I think your comfortable stance or your ideal stance doesn't change throughout the kata. So if you can stay in that best stance for yourself, I think you'll end up going to the same spot.
Yeah, you should do. But yeah, you end up seeing, because people are so focused on ending up in that spot, you'll see they'll try to adjust their stances to end up there.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
that's
what I mean.
That's not good. That's not good. I mean, if you practice enough, the moment you stand, you'll be in your good stance.
Was
So, yeah, making the adjustments during the kata?
yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that means you
so
haven't
they
practiced.
make adjustments during the kata just because they think, oh, I'm a little bit out, so I might have to adjust.
Oh no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. Oh, I see. Yeah, the moment you stand, you should feel comfortable in your stance.
Right.
So, yeah, you don't have to adjust it, I think.
Right. So you've just finished your world tour. Now, do you have any plans of going on another world tour?
Yes.
And which countries would you like to go to, and which countries would you hope to come back to?
I want to come back to all the countries that I've been to so far.
Okay.
Additionally to that, I want to go to Germany because I have quite a lot of German students on my online program. So Germany is one. Where else? South America.
Oh, okay.
Some countries in South America, I'd love to go. And European. I mean, if I'm going to Germany, I can go to other European countries too. So I guess, and Southeast Asian countries.
I see.
Thai, Philippines probably because they speak English there.
Okay.
So hopefully Philippines. Yeah.
Have you found much of a language barrier while you've been traveling? It's all been English countries, I suppose. Yeah.
It was my first year, so
yeah, I see.
Yeah, I didn't take the risk. I just went to.
You might have a bit of a challenge ahead.
Maybe, yeah. So I might need somebody's help to make the translation.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be fine.
Okay, so this is just a bit of a fun question now. So which karate movie or book would you recommend that everyone should see or read? If you could only choose one that represents karate well, what would you choose?
I like Baki. Do you know
Baki, the anime.
It's an anime.
Yeah, right.
I'm a huge fan of Baki. So it's not just karate, but it has different martial arts in it.
Okay.
And I feel like the pictures are pretty, I guess, it looks pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah. So like when Baki does like a side kick, the hip is in, the torso's turned, his weight is forward, you see all those.
Right.
So I think the author has, I think, martial art experience as well.
Right, okay.
So I recommend Baki.
Is it true there's a character based on Funakoshi Gichi?
I don't think Funakoshi Gichi. There is one that's based off of Mas Oyama.
Okay.
Tokushi.
Right.
There's one from that. Teaching, I'm not sure, but
because I have seen a little bit of writing, but I haven't really looked at it.
There's also a character based off of Motobu Choki.
Okay, right. He's the notorious street fighter.
Right. So the character from Baki uses weapons.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Baki.
Awesome.
I reckon.
Yeah, I've watched probably 2 episodes of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
Yeah. I should check it out now that you've mentioned it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you very much for the interview, and thank you for everything you've taught me and my students during the seminar, and everyone else around the world that you got to share your knowledge with. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can tell that's my first time.
That's okay.
And now, do I just press movie again, or how do I stop this?
I think you press it again.